Hello everyone. And clouds everywhere and you can't see the sun or the mountains. It's just kind of crazy. Have all their muscles accentuated. You kind of understand where the landmarks are. Hello everyone. Today I have another drawing for you. I say that as if it hasn't been several years since the last one. I also say that line as if I haven't said that line twice already, and this is the third take of the video. But anyway, here I am, here we are, and we're doing this thing. As you can see on this little drawing, maybe you can see that now. Yeah, okay, the time lapse is pretty fast. But it's kind of the first thing I started with, which is the statement that I still want to do this. And what does that mean? Right now, it means that I want to be creating for this channel. I'm not committing to anything. So when I'm kind of going off on these, this might happen, it's not usually a commitment. It's more of a dream that informs my action generally, but doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. Not that I need to say that to you, but anyway, I still want to do this. I still want to make a graphic novel, even though I've kind of tired myself out as far as talking about it, because I haven't done a whole lot in the way of it. I have a lot of notes that I've made at different times about it. I'd still like to make more, and I'm getting to that. But today I wanted to talk about kind of my day, how it's been. I've been delving back into more of my interests lately. I got really inspired by this podcast from a fellow YouTuber, Reysu. He interviewed this other guy who during COVID would study for 10 hours a day and, do some other things on this stream for another 2 hours. So he's streaming for 12 hours a day. Something about that, and I don't know exactly what it was, but something hit me and I was like, okay, let me just do a bunch of things today. So that's what I'm doing. And I made this tiny little rap. I made a little beat, made a little rap, posted that on Instagram. Made another little post for my fitness main account on Instagram, and I'm working on just doing little things like that, scripting for another video, but just kind of letting my energy go where it wants to go, because the whole day I've kind of been doing little bits of things like that. And it's been such a head-driven day to where I'm just going for it and focusing and just sitting down and being sedentary. And I've been doing little workouts here and there throughout the day, which is good. But it's kind of a contrast to some of the ways that I've been lately, because I've been really into embodiment. And when I say I'm into it, I kind of cringe in the fact that when I say I'm into it, it almost sounds like some weird trend and it's a cool thing, which it is a cool thing and it is a trend. And so it is those things, but what is it more? It's kind of something, it's an interest of mine, I guess. But I hadn't been treating it like an interest or a choice of a way of living. I just kind of was thinking of it as the right way to do things. And it's also kind of an obscure term, embodiment, being in the body, which I think has its downsides as far as the way that I've approached it. And some of that is that I don't have these kind of times when I don't, when I'm just not in myself and I'm more outwardly expressing or creating or get into these flow state zones where I don't have the focus on my body at all. I don't really know what's going on there. And that will happen if I'm drawing for a really long time on a drawing and sitting there for a couple hours, and then I get up and I'm yeah, my body feels a little sore or something like that, and I actually come to my awareness. But I don't think I would be able to achieve that same flow state. And I've also found downsides to it when I've been in relational contexts with other people, not being able to pay attention to the actual informational content of, it's just hard to kind of have attention on that, on your body and what other people at the same time. I've also experienced lots of good things from it. Energetic significance in my interactions with people. That seems kind of vague, but that's where I'm at as far as explaining it right now. But I'm just kind of having a new shift, which is like I'm treating embodiment as an interest, something I want to grow, but not necessarily that it's like the purest right thing. Because, okay, for example, Chris Bale talks about when, we leave the body, it's almost like leaving your house with all the doors open. I'm misquoting him probably partially, but, and, then it can become infested or whatever because all the doors are open and everything. But I feel like to some extent that sort of journey away from the body, at least in short spurts, helps to kind of reach a different way of operating that is not any less right. I think maybe there's a balance as far as like maybe more time in the body. This is like there's not a perfect ratio. I know I'm like using my Heady way of thinking about it just to come up with what is right, because that's what I'm looking for in all this, which I don't think there really is a right. It's more about preference. And that's honestly the new video that I'm working on with my Invitation to Play YouTube channel, which is the main channel that I'm trying to grow right now. But it's going to be about invitation and permission and giving yourself permission in life. And so this day has been like a good experience to kind of inform that. And I think also just writing the script for it is what maybe brought about this sort of day, which has been a really good day. But yeah, where was it going with that? Oh yeah, I like how Thomas Hubl has talked about it, and I think it was him, but like I heard the paraphrased quote from my dad, but something like, during the day it's okay, it's good or whatever, it's okay, and it's like where we are, because just human evolution right now, we're just in a space where a lot of mental energy is kind of the focus. We're in the age of information type of thing, which is why I think partially stuff like Chris Bale stuff is so necessary or so needed right now in this time, because we're so heady in our ways, that something like Chris Bale stuff is like really meeting a need that is, really needs meeting in this time, which is to come back to the body and come back to yourself in that way. But I think also to try to like not pay attention to the evolution of where things want to go. Where does energy want to go? Sometimes it wants to be in the heady space and be able to create. But I like kind of what my dad said, Thomas Hubl, paraphrase quote of like a snake in the spine, it's like up in the head and doing stuff throughout the day, but then having a moment at the end of the day or when you are done in that space to be able to pull yourself back down, for the snake to coil back down the spine and to rest in your body, because that feels like home. And that is a home to be in. But I think that those journeys outside of the body are also necessary, because sometimes it's the fresh smell of home when you've been away for a while that makes home feel so sweet.